Religious differences can be one of the biggest challenges in a romantic relationship. When two people bring opposing beliefs and traditions into the mix, love seems to clash with faith. Is it possible to love beyond those beliefs? Some would say true love conquers all, but the truth is that many couples struggle in silence, trying to balance their spiritual convictions without giving up on their relationship. Religious diversity, rather than being a point of connection, often becomes a barrier that's hard to cross. And what's worse? External pressures, like family, community, and even societal expectations, can turn those differences into real battlegrounds. But what if I told you that these differences, instead of driving you apart, could actually strengthen your relationship? Imagine building something new together, a shared spirituality, while still holding on to each person's individuality. What many don't realize is that, with the right communication and a few compromises, it's possible to turn what seems like a difficulty into an opportunity for growth. In this video, we're going to explore practical strategies and real-life stories of how couples have managed to overcome religious differences and create an even deeper connection. Ready to find out how faith can unite instead of divide? Let's dive into this together. Maintaining mutual respect in a relationship with differing religious beliefs is a true test of maturity and empathy. When each person brings different spiritual values to the table, it's like two worlds colliding. But rather than creating conflict, this diversity can be an opportunity for growth. The couple needs to understand that respecting differences doesn't just mean tolerating them but learning to appreciate what they bring to the relationship. A practical example is giving the other person space to practice their faith without judgment, like setting aside time for personal prayer or meditation, and respecting your partner's spiritual practices. The key to balancing these beliefs is creating a safe environment where both feel comfortable sharing their convictions. This balance doesn't happen overnight, but over time, open and honest conversations build that foundation. Something that can help is participating in each other's religious events, like attending a mass or a celebration ritual, even as an observer. This gesture shows how much you value your partner's faith without abandoning your own. These small actions make a big difference. However, respect doesn't eliminate possible disagreements. It's inevitable that at some point, beliefs will clash, especially in critical situations or family decisions. In these moments, it's crucial to remember that faith should not be a weapon of conflict but a foundation of unity. A couple that truly wants to find harmony in their differences must learn to agree to disagree, which means embracing the fact that there won't always be consensus, but love and respect should always prevail. And this is where the journey begins to explore how to merge traditions and rituals from both religions. Celebrating each partner's religious traditions may seem complicated at first, but it's possible to find creative ways to blend rituals without anyone feeling like they're giving up their essence. In many cases, couples can create new rituals that represent both, combining elements of their respective beliefs. One example would be blending the celebration of Christmas with festivities from another faith, like Hanukkah, creating a night of unity where both can share what these events mean in their lives. Over time, these new traditions can even become family favorites. The key here is not to see traditions as something unchangeable but as a living part of the relationship. Many couples, for example, choose significant celebrations from each religion and build a calendar of rituals that include both. Imagine a couple celebrating both Easter and Ramadan, preparing end-of-fast meals together, fostering a sense of community and unity. This not only strengthens mutual respect but also creates unforgettable moments where faith and love intertwine in a unique way. Of course, it's not always easy to reach a consensus on which traditions to keep or adapt, but communication is essential in this process. For those facing resistance from family or friends, it's important that the couple stands firm in their decisions, explaining the value of these new rituals for both. The essence of any celebration isn't just in the customs but in what they represent for the couple. Ultimately, what truly matters is that the traditions reinforce the connection and love that unite the two, and this is where the importance of deep communication about spiritual values becomes even clearer. In a relationship where religions differ, communication becomes an indispensable tool to ensure that both partners' expectations and boundaries are understood and respected. Conversations about spiritual values go beyond discussing beliefs, it's about understanding your partner's deepest needs and how their beliefs shape their worldview. A practical example would be setting aside time for honest discussions, where one shares their convictions while the other listens with genuine empathy. This creates a safe space to explore spiritual issues without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. A lack of communication can lead to frustrations, especially when one partner feels their beliefs are being ignored or misunderstood. To avoid this, it's vital to open up frequent dialogues, addressing not only what each person believes but also what those beliefs mean in terms of life decisions, like raising children, family celebrations, and even moral questions that may arise. When both have clarity about each other's spiritual values, it becomes easier to find common ground, even in disagreements. Moreover, this communication needs to happen honestly and with as little ego as possible. Often, there can be a temptation to convince the other of the superiority of one belief, but this can erode the relationship. The focus should be on understanding your partner's perspective without losing your own. When this happens, both partners feel valued, and mutual respect is reinforced. A good exercise for practicing this is sharing readings or watching documentaries together about different religions, allowing both to learn more about each other's beliefs in a relaxed way. This type of communication helps couples navigate the challenges that arise in the relationship, especially when there's outside interference, like from family. And that's where the next big challenge arises. The influence of family in an interfaith relationship can be one of the hardest challenges to overcome. In many cases, families have rigid expectations about which religious path the couple should follow, and this can create immense pressure on both partners. In these situations, the couple needs to come together even more, developing strategies to handle these external influences in a balanced way. A practical example would be setting clear boundaries with family members, making it evident that while their opinions are respected, decisions about religious life belong solely to the couple. Dealing with family pressure requires the couple to adopt a united front. They must support each other, ensuring that no one feels isolated or abandoned. When criticism comes from one side of the family, it's important that the affected partner doesn't face it alone. Together, the couple can prepare for difficult conversations with relatives, taking a calm and respectful but firm approach. An example of this would be organizing a family meeting to discuss how religious diversity is being addressed in the relationship, showing that this choice is based on love and mutual respect. In some cases, however, the pressure may be more intense and require a more drastic approach, such as temporary or even permanent distance from family members who cannot respect the couple's decisions. This can be a painful step, but sometimes necessary to preserve the harmony of the relationship. The couple needs to be emotionally prepared to handle these situations, knowing that the internal peace of their relationship should always be a priority. They must remember that despite external criticism, what truly matters is the connection and respect they've built together. It's in this context that the question of children can become even more pressing, becoming a sensitive topic for couples with different beliefs. Raising children in a household where religious beliefs differ can be one of the biggest challenges for interfaith couples. Both parents want to pass on their spiritual values, but when these beliefs diverge, conflicts about which path to follow can easily arise. Ideally, the couple adopts an open and pluralistic approach, allowing the children to be exposed to both religions in a respectful and balanced way. A practical example would be taking the children to participate in both religious celebrations, giving them the opportunity to learn about and understand both beliefs without imposing one over the other. The spiritual upbringing of the children needs to be a joint decision, and this is only possible with frank and constant dialogue. The couple should discuss which aspects of their beliefs are most important to teach and which spiritual values they want to prioritize. More than choosing a specific religion, it's essential that children learn the importance of faith, respect, and empathy for differences. An example of how this can be done is by teaching the children to pray or meditate in different ways, showing them that there are many forms of connecting to something greater. However, this pluralistic approach doesn't mean there won't be challenges. It's common for children to feel confused at some point about which religion to follow. When this happens, it's important that parents remain calm and avoid pressuring them to choose a specific path. Instead, parents can encourage curiosity and dialogue, helping the children find their own spirituality over time. What's most important is ensuring that, regardless of the choice, the family environment remains one of acceptance and respect, where love is placed above any religious differences. At this point, the couple must also remember that mutual respect and love can be the key to overcoming any challenge that religious diversity brings. After all, love always transcends differences. When a couple can see beyond religious beliefs and focuses on respect and love, they build a much stronger and more resilient relationship. Mutual respect, in this context, goes beyond just accepting differences. It's about understanding that these divergences can actually enrich the relationship. Couples who face this challenge and support each other in moments of disagreement find strength in accepting each other's beliefs. A practical example is when, instead of avoiding conversations about religion, they use them as an opportunity to learn more about each other, expanding their horizons. These stories of overcoming show that love can transcend religious barriers. By prioritizing the relationship and the emotional connection, many couples discover that differences, rather than being an obstacle, can become the foundation of an even deeper bond. An inspiring example is of couples who celebrate both their religions and their shared faith in the relationship, finding new ways to connect, such as small rituals or unique traditions that belong solely to them. It's in this context that religious diversity can, in fact, strengthen the relationship. Of course, this path is not without challenges, but when love is put first, the couple finds a way to compromise and grow together. They learn that compromising is not losing but an act of kindness and understanding. When the couple is willing to listen, embrace the differences, and walk side by side, beliefs, no matter how opposite, become just a part of a greater whole. And it's in this deep respect that the relationship blossoms. Love, in its essence, is about accepting the other completely, and that includes spiritual differences. At this point, the couple begins to understand the importance of compromises and agreements, knowing that in certain moments, yielding can be the strongest gesture of love. Knowing when to yield is an essential skill for any relationship, but for couples with different religions, it becomes even more crucial. Religious beliefs are often tied to deep values, and so finding the balance between yielding and maintaining one's identity can be challenging. However, it's possible to reach agreements that respect both partners' convictions. A practical example would be when one partner wants to strictly follow a religious tradition while the other prefers a more flexible approach. In these cases, yielding in certain moments can be a gesture of respect and love, such as participating in a ceremony or supporting your partner in their spiritual practice. It's important for the couple to see these compromises as acts of partnership, not as losses. Making agreements requires open and transparent communication about what is negotiable and what is non-negotiable for each person. For example, if one partner insists on maintaining a daily prayer routine, the other might agree to give the space and time needed without interruptions, even if they're not directly participating. These small gestures of support make both feel that their spiritual needs are valued without giving up who they are. The secret to healthy compromises lies in balancing individual needs with the needs of the couple. It won't always be possible to reach a middle ground, but the simple act of trying and being willing to yield at times can make a huge difference. A couple that knows when to compromise shows maturity and a deep understanding that the relationship goes beyond religious beliefs. Compromising, therefore, isn't about giving up on one's faith but about opening one's heart to the other, showing that love is more important than any disagreement. And in moments of conflict, this willingness to compromise can be the key to overcoming religious differences without harming the relationship. Conflicts in a relationship are inevitable, and when religion is part of the equation, disagreements can feel even more intense. However, it's crucial for the couple to view these moments not as threats to the relationship but as opportunities for growth. Instead of letting religion become a battlefield, the couple can work on conflict resolution techniques that prioritize respect and empathy. A practical example would be establishing a strategic pause during a heated argument, where both take a moment to step back and reflect before resuming the conversation with more calm and clarity. When religious differences arise, it's important for the couple to understand that they are part of any interfaith relationship. The key is not to let these differences escalate into something bigger than they really are. A good practice is to use these occasions to deepen the dialogue, seeking to understand the other's perspective instead of trying to impose your own view. As one couple who faced this kind of challenge once said, "We learned that, most of the time, the problem isn't the religion itself but the way we react to the differences." So, the attitude with which you approach these disagreements makes all the difference. Additionally, the couple can turn to external resources, such as couples therapy or spiritual counseling, to learn how to handle these situations. These tools offer a new perspective and help build bridges during times of crisis. The important thing is never to let religion become a reason to attack or devalue the other. When both can separate faith from negative emotions, it becomes much easier to find solutions that strengthen the relationship rather than weaken it. These moments of conflict can be tough, but once overcome, they make the couple stronger. And when it comes time for big decisions, like marriage, religious traditions can become yet another reason to unite, not divide. When marriage is on the horizon, religious differences can seem even more daunting, as the ceremony is a significant milestone for both. However, this can also be an opportunity to create something unique that honors both partners' traditions. Many couples opt for interfaith ceremonies, where aspects of both religions are included, allowing both to feel represented. A practical example is alternating readings or blessings from each faith during the ceremony, or even having two religious leaders conduct different parts of the celebration. For couples who prefer not to mix traditions in one event, there's also the option of having two separate ceremonies, each fully respecting the practices of one religion. This approach may be ideal when the beliefs are very distinct, and there's a desire to maintain the authenticity of each rite. However, it's essential that the couple is aligned on this choice, openly discussing their feelings and expectations about each ceremony. What's important is that both feel respected and valued during this significant moment. Religious traditions, no matter how different, don't need to be a barrier but a way to celebrate the diversity and love that brought the couple together. Planning these ceremonies can be a time for both to reinforce their commitment to respect and honor each other's beliefs. By doing so, the wedding becomes a beautiful fusion of cultures, spirituality, and love. In the end, what matters is that the couple feels united, no matter how the ceremony is conducted. After the wedding, more intimate issues may arise, like how religious differences impact the couple's sex life and intimacy. Different religious beliefs can significantly influence how a couple approaches intimacy and sex. Some religions hold more conservative views on sex, while others may be more open and flexible. When these beliefs come into play, the couple needs to find a healthy balance between respecting each other's spiritual values and maintaining a strong physical and emotional connection. A practical example is for the couple to have open conversations about their sexual expectations, exploring what each feels comfortable with, without anyone feeling pressured to compromise their beliefs. Clear communication about sex is essential in this context, and it's important for the couple to find ways to align their needs and desires. For many couples, issues like the frequency of intimacy, the importance of physical connection, and even religious limits can become sensitive topics. The key to overcoming these differences is creating a dialogue where both partners feel free to express their thoughts without judgment. This may involve, for example, seeking specialized advice from a sex therapist or spiritual counselor who can guide the couple in finding that balance. With these foundations in place, many couples are able to navigate religious challenges in their sex life without major conflicts. And this same harmony can extend to building a shared spirituality, something that many couples with different beliefs decide to create throughout their lives. For many interfaith couples, building a new spirituality together can be the key to strengthening the relationship and finding a common path. Instead of focusing on the differences, the couple can create a unique spirituality that unites aspects of both partners' beliefs. This could mean developing new rituals that represent what's most important to them, like a daily moment of gratitude or meditating together. The goal isn't to replace their original religions but to create something new and meaningful for the couple. This process of building requires the couple to be willing to constantly dialogue, adjusting and adapting their practices as the relationship evolves. A practical example is creating a weekly tradition where the couple shares a spiritual moment, whether by attending a service or performing a symbolic ritual at home that represents their unified beliefs. The important thing is that both feel connected to this new spirituality without losing the individuality that their religions offer. This new spirituality can also help the couple face moments of crisis. Having a shared faith space, where both can lean on each other, provides a solid foundation to overcome challenges that may arise throughout life. When the couple can create a spirituality that unites them, they don't have to abandon their original beliefs but rather integrate what makes sense for both. This strengthens the emotional and spiritual connection, fortifying the relationship on multiple levels. Over time, this new spirituality can become an essential part of the couple's identity, something they share exclusively with each other. It's a process of mutual growth, where love and respect for each other's beliefs are always present. And in the end, what really matters is that the couple has found a way to honor their religions while building something new and deep together. After everything we've discussed, it's clear that religious differences don't have to be an insurmountable barrier. Quite the opposite, they can be the fuel that strengthens the connection between the couple if both are willing to dialogue and make compromises. Now the question is, are you ready to turn these differences into a source of unity? Are you willing to look at your partner's beliefs with more respect and let go of small battles that don't need to be fought? Think about what you can do today, right now, to create an environment of more understanding and empathy in your relationship. And if external pressures, like family, start to weigh on you, how will you handle that? Is it really worth sacrificing love for expectations that come from outside? What's more important to you, rigidly following a tradition or building a new story where faith and love walk together? The answer is in your hands, and I'm here to help you on this journey. Remember, mutual respect is the key to any healthy relationship, and learning to navigate these waters will make you stronger. If you found everything you learned today useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any new content on how to strengthen your relationship, even in the toughest situations. Together, we'll keep exploring topics that can transform your relationship and your life. See you in the next video.